أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Surah 89, Al-Fajr, the Dawn, Meccan period. Title: The opening word, Al-Fajr, the Dawn, constitutes this surah's title. Period of revelation. In the light of its contents, it emerges that this surah was revealed at a time when the persecution of Muslims was well underway. Little wonder, then, that their persecutors, the Meccan unbelievers, are asked to take a lesson from the horrible end of earlier persecutors, such as the Ad, Pharaoh, and the Thamud. Subject matter and themes. The surah affirms emphatically the divine recompense that awaits all in the hereafter, and which was rejected by the unbelieving Meccans. The following arguments are presented in order to bring these themes home. First, an oath is taken with reference to the dawn, the 10 nights, the even and the odd, and the departing night in order to persuade the unbelievers that their rejection of the truth does not hold any water. These 4 phenomena, as explained in the following notes, underscore the regularity and constancy in the present order. While reflecting on this divine dispensation marked by sagacity, man should not have any difficulty in realizing that Allah, who has put in place this order, may cause the hereafter. His wisdom demands that man be recompensed for his deeds. Next, attention is drawn to history and the terrible fate of the Ad, Thamud, and Pharaoh, cited here as instances of transgression that courted inevitable punishment. This proves that the present order is not at the mercy of some blind, unthinking forces, nor is chaos or degeneration tolerated. As the universe is under the control of the Almighty, all-wise Allah, He has devised an elaborate scheme, one that rests on the planks of wisdom and justice. He has invested man with reason and moral sense and granted him authority in certain measure. Accordingly, He will call man to account and recompense them. Some profound observations are made regarding human society. The Arabs of the day were in the shackles of Jahiliyyah. 2 aspects of that society are condemned in particular. 1, their materialistic outlook on life, as a result of which they disregarded morals and set their eyes only on worldly gain and glory. They failed to realize that affluence is not a divine reward, nor is poverty a sign of His punishment. Actually, Allah puts man to the test in both states of poverty and wealth. It is ascertained how man acts in adversity and prosperity. 2, their detestable attitude towards orphans. Orphan children used to suffer terribly, and no redress was available to them or to the poor. Usurping orphans and the weak's belongings and inheritance was rampant. Indeed, the Arabs' love of riches was insatiable. This criticism reinforces the need for divine recompense in the hereafter. In conclusion, the phenomenon of divine reckoning is emphasized. Allah will sit in judgment. Only then will the unbelievers see the truth that they presently deny. They will then regret their disbelief, yet it will be of no avail, for all is now too late. However, those who sincerely accept the truth in this life as presented by Allah's scriptures and messengers will be blessed with Allah's pleasure. They will be reckoned in the hereafter as His righteous servants and will enter paradise.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate.
Wal Fajr.
By the dawn.
Wa layalin ashr.
And the 10 nights.
Wash shaf'i wal watr.
And the even and the odd.
And
by the night when it departs. Is there in this an oath for one endowed with understanding? Is there in this an oath for one endowed with understanding? Reflection on the verses that follow makes it clear that the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the unbelievers were contending over the question of reward and punishment in the next life. The Prophet, peace be upon him, sought to establish that the hereafter was bound to take place, whereas the unbelievers denied it. In this context, we encounter an oath referring to 4 things. 1, the dawn. 2, the 10 nights. 3, the even and the odd. 4, the night when it departs. The implication being that the testimony contained in this oath dispensed with the need for any other evidence to establish that the next life was bound to occur.
ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بعاد
Have you not seen how your Lord dealt with Ad,
إرم ذات العماد
of Iram, known for their lofty columns,
التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد
the like of whom no nation was ever created in the lands of the world,
وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد
and how did he deal with Thamud, who hewed out rocks in the valley,
وفرعون ذي الأوتاد
and with Pharaoh of the tent pegs,
الذين طغوا في البلاد
who transgressed in the countries of the world,
فأكثروا فيها الفساد
spreading in them much corruption.
فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب
Then their Lord unloosed upon them the lash of chastisement.
إن ربك لبالمرصاد
Truly, your Lord is ever watchful. Truly, your Lord is ever watchful. The verse depicts God as one who lays in ambush. Whoever lays in ambush remains in hiding, waiting to surprise the enemy with a sudden attack. Unaware of the ambush, the victim is likely to come, but when he exceeds a certain point, he falls prey to the ambush. This analogy applies to the wrongdoers of the world who are spreading all kinds of mischief and corruption, unaware that God is watching their misdeeds. Thanks to their heedlessness, they commit ever more misdeeds with impunity. Thus, they reach a limit which God does not let them exceed. At this point, they are suddenly seized by His scourge.
فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن
As for man, when his Lord tests him by exalting him and bestowing his bounties upon him, he says, "My Lord has exalted me."
وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن
But when he tests him by straightening his sustenance, he says, "My Lord has humiliated me. My Lord has humiliated me." This, then, is man's materialistic concept of life. Man equates wealth, position, and power in the world with the bestowal of honor, and when he is deprived of these, he thinks that God has humiliated him. The fact which he fails to grasp is that whatever God gives anyone in this world is by way of a test. One is tested both when one has wealth and power, as well as one is in a state of poverty and destitution.
كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم
But no, you do not treat the orphan honorably,
ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين
and do not urge one another to feed the poor,
وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما
and greedily devour the entire inheritance,
وتحبون المال حبا جما
and love the riches, loving them ardently.
كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا
But no, when the earth is ground to powder. But no, it is stressed here that it is quite erroneous for man to fancy that he can act as he wishes and not be called to account thereafter.
وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا
And when your Lord appears with rows upon rows of angels,
وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر الإنسان وأنى له الذكرى.
And when hell is brought near that day, on that day will man understand, but of what avail will that understanding be?
يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي.
He will say, would that I had sent ahead what would be avail for this life of mine.
فيومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد.
Then on that day, Allah will chastise as none other can chastise.
ولا يوثق وثاقه أحد.
And Allah will bind as none other can bind.
يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة.
On the other hand, it will be said, O serene soul, O serene soul. The expression serene soul signifies the person who accepts with full conviction the one true God as his Lord and Sustainer and recognizes the religious faith expounded by the prophets as the true faith.
ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية.
Return to your Lord well pleased with your blissful destination, well pleasing to your Lord.
فادخلي في عبادي.
So enter among my righteous servants.
وادخلي جنتي.
And enter my paradise.